What do you look forward to most, Mad Dog, when you come to a spring training facility, whether it be in Florida or in Arizona? A guy in your space, you do high heat on MLB Network, you do a lot of national stuff. What is it for somebody like you when number 99 is throwing to number 77? They're not going to be part of the deal. So, Chris, what do you take from spring?
The idea of what spring training is always all about, hope springs eternal. Everybody's in a pretty good mood. Availability is there. You can get all the managers on radio. You can get the general managers on. Nobody's lost five straight yet.
Yeah.
Nobody's 10 games out on May 1st. So from that perspective, everybody's, pretty hepped up. They're first thing in the morning. They're not tired of baseball. Physically, they feel good. The spirits are up. Even the Rockies, for instance, would be, somewhat optimistic. I think just a good feeling that a new season is upon us. Spring training, football in July and August, although football, there's a physicality aspect to it that teams hate training camp, players do. But the NBA, the basketball too, there's always a good sense that, hey, a new season, anything can happen. We got a chance. Why not feel optimistic? Those kinds of things. And it rubs off on the folks who cover it. So I think the idea that it's the start of a new year that goes a long way. And I think everybody feels pretty good. And with baseball, the 14 teams, 7 teams, or 12 teams, each team having a chance to make the playoffs. You don't need to win 95 games necessarily. Arizona last year won 84. I think that all plays into it.
Mad Dog Russo, Hall of Famer, with us for a few minutes. High heat, MLB Network, Sirius XM, all over the place. It's a pleasure to catch up with the Hall of Famer. I want to turn over to the on the field. Do you think the Rangers and Diamondbacks, Chris? I'm not going to put you on the spot like on the Stern Show, where you're going to run around with a bikini if those two teams meet again in the World Series. But as we sit here today, looking at spring into the season, off season's complete. There's no way you can pick against the Dodgers. Is there, Mad Dog?
No way. Not in a regular season. You can't pick against the Dodgers. We all know postseason's a crapshoot. I think at the end of the day, Texas will sign Jordan Montgomery and to get that RSN thing straightened out. Maybe that Amazon buying help there. I think Arizona is going to be pretty good. I was a great signing with Rodriguez. He pitched well. They learned and they found some pitching. Foth did a good job. You got Gallen sitting there, Merrill Kelly, young players, some experience. I think Arizona will have a good season again. I think Texas will have a good season. Crapshoot-wise, postseason, who knows? Regular season-wise, the Dodgers are going to win 105 games. I mean, you can write there's no race in the NL West. I mean, the Dodgers just have too much talent. Teoscar Hernandez is going to help them. Yamamoto, we know about Ohtani. They're going to win 105. The regular season, as far as winning the division, there's no race. It's going to be a bore. But once you get to the postseason, that's the great beauty of baseball. It's a crapshoot. And Dodgers can lose 3 games to anybody. So I'm not sure about where we stand with LA in the postseason. Regular season-wise, the rest of the NL in the West, Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks, they're playing for a wild card spot. But I think the Diamondbacks got a hell of a chance to win a wild card spot. I mean, they got this is a pretty good team, and they should win upper of 88 games, 89 games. So they should make the playoffs. They got a hell of a chance to make it as a wild card. But you have to assume as the season begins, Braves and Dodgers, the NL Central's a crapshoot, but the Braves and Dodgers should win their respective divisions, which then means that Philadelphia, Arizona, maybe the Giants, maybe San Diego are going to fight for wild card spots in the National League.
What do you make out of the managerial changes? We're talking Cactus League and just a couple of them. Craig Counsell goes from Milwaukee to the Cubs. You've got Bomel going from San Diego up to the Giants. Those two teams in particular, I know you said the Giants are in the West, no shot in terms of the division title. Maybe wild card, maybe not. Counsell, Melvin.
Listen, I think Counsell will help. First off, I didn't think Ross deserved to be fired. Ross did a good job with the Cubs. I mean, so I'm not sure exactly where Counsell is going to make the Cubs a lot better on the field. I think Counsell's a good manager, but let's also remember that Counsell's 1-9 in his last 10 playoff games. So again, he lost to 3 straight to Arizona. He lost 3 out of 4 to Atlanta. I mean, Counsell is yet to prove that he's a big time. Now, he's a good manager, but he hasn't won in the postseason either. So and Ross to me got a raw deal. Counsell is a better manager than Ross, track record wise, but I don't know where he makes the Cubs a lot better. Melvin, I thought Kapler got a raw deal too. You can't sit there and tell me that the Giants were a big time roster oriented team. Zaidi got a break. I mean, hold on now. I mean, where is that roster so much better that he had to fire Kapler? He should have gone out the door with Kapler too. Now, Melvin's probably a better, and I like Bob, and he's a better manager than Kapler. So it's funny. Both GMs fired their existing managers to bring in better managers. But I don't know if Zaidi deserved to stay. And I'm not sure if Ross deserved to be fired for Counsell, who has not shown that he can win in postseason yet. Never been to a World Series. Lost to the Dodgers twice. Lost to Washington. Lost to Atlanta. Terrible loss to Arizona. So I'm not exactly sure, just because being Counsell and you can win a lot. And Farhan deserved to go just as much as Kapler did. If you wanted to fire Kapler, how does Zaidi stay? I don't understand. I mean, he put the roster together, and the roster stinks. And they can't bring a big free agent in, and giving Hicks $44 million, I don't think that's the answer. Robbie Ray's not going to be available until the middle of the summer, so I'm not sure if that's the answer. And the kid they signed from Japan, he's sort of like a Nimmo, and they gave him $113 million. So the Giants can't get anybody to take their money, is what it comes down to. So I'm not sure if either one of those teams, Cubs or Giants, are going to be that much better. The Giants would definitely have problems because they got the Dodgers in the division. The NL Central is wide open because those teams aren't very good, so the Cubs have a chance. But, again, Dodgers and Braves, Phillies, Diamondbacks 4, those are your 4 teams in the National League as we stand right now.
I appreciate your time and insights, Chris. Thanks. Let you go off that.
Great job. Thanks for having me. Appreciate coming on here today.